We had a model we used in those days and still use, which is a model for change that I learned from Dick Beckhart back in the early days. I had the privilege in my life. I am a lucky dude, I'll tell you. I studied with Sal Alinsky how to do community organizing. I studied with Ron Lippett how to do community organizing. I studied with the UAW leadership how to organize people. I was a Democratic Party hotshot who brought together coalitions to elect Jack Kennedy, almost elect Bobby Kennedy. God, that was heartbreaking. And in the Civil Rights Movement. And I had the privilege to work with change agents of all types. One of the ones that I had the privilege to work with was Dick Becker, who gave me this formula. You want to bring about change, he said? You need D, which is dissatisfaction with things the way they are right now. Now, what we were doing was whole system. We weren't doing a little bitty group. We were doing a whole system. So that what we recognized was you need to create that dissatisfaction on the part of the critical mass. Only in maybe 5 years later do we really know what we were doing, and we realized the critical mass was started with the microcosm group of tables that we looked at each other and said, how did we come up with that? Actually, I got it from Ron Lippett. That's where I got it. Critical mass has to say, we're not good enough. This is no way to live. That was particularly easy at Ford because the Japanese had already told them that if they kept going the way they were going to die. But what we have found out since, as we've worked with other organizations, is it's not hard to get the D loose, wherever you are. Even if you work at HP, where they are really pretty proud of what they're doing, what HP people tell us is, we should be better. Right? I mean, everybody has a yearning to be better. So get the critical mass to agree that we could be doing things differently. Times B, which is a positive vision of what we would be if we were what I yearn for us to be. So the critical mass has to say, this is what I yearn for. Oh man, would it be wonderful to be part of a Ford Motor Company where we often do what we call I have a dream speeches with our leaders. We get them up there to say, I have a dream of a Ford Mustang Dearborn assembly plant where, right? And they put out all their yearnings. It's just wonderful, wonderful stuff. The vision thing, as George Bush would say, in my opinion, has to be, I won't buy in on it, no matter how many times you print it up and give me cards. I won't buy in on it unless I help to create it, unless I see my own yearnings in there. It's got to mean something to me. It has to make me feel noble to be part of it. One of my favorite anecdotes from the old Ford days was when Don Peterson, who was the head of Ford at the time when I was working, a wonderful, absolutely enchanting man, courageous as all get out. And he came in to talk to a group of top leaders from around the world, and he said, we have a 20-year vision for Ford now. This is the mid-'80s. A 20-year vision. 20 years from now, we want to be at least ¡2 worldwide. You know what happened. They went, no, 2? We want to be #1. That's American. Maybe you don't understand. I love it. It's got to be ennobling. It's got to be something I believe is possible. And not only that, I think, boy, would it ever be worthwhile. Critical mass has to combine the yearnings together on something they believe. It's times F, which stands for first steps in the direction of those yearnings. You are kind of yes. First steps that we all agree are worth it. First steps that will work. First steps that we say, yeah, that's worth the trying. So the critical mass has to do that. The product of this in Dick Beckhart's and my model, actually, I screwed up his model. If you read Beckhart, you will notice I changed it, but I got it from him. This has to be greater than R which stands for resistance to change, if you want change to take place. And the key to that dorky little formula is, of course, if any one of these is missing, the product will be zero, and you will not be able to overcome resistance. What's powerful about this little model, 2 minutes, thank you. What's powerful about this little model is that it's an individual model as well. I have to be dissatisfied with myself the way I am. I have to have an ennobling vision of what I could be. I have to see how I get there. And if all three of those are in place, nothing will stop me. So it's true for the individual, and we work on it on the individual level in our work, and it's true for the whole. If whoever you are, CD is my favorite at the moment because we're doing a lot of work with you, and we met a lot of you. CD, once CD int gets the critical mass, all point in the same direction globally, Canada, US, and England. Once they are all pointed in the same direction and united around a common vision, nothing can stop you. Nothing. That's the power. Yes?
How do you gauge that you have a critical mass?
We'll talk about that a lot in the next couple of days because there's no quick answer there. We use an event planning team, and you're going to have the opportunity to experience that, and you'll see. The right people tell us who the critical mass is at any given moment. What's the purpose that we're up to? I love Ford. Is that okay?
That's fine. I thought it would be not an easy one.
Are you always that lovable?